At Turf Locks today, a lovely little pub, and I believe it's a bit of a hotel as well. You'd have to check with them to see if they do rooms and how much they cost. But yeah, we're in Turf Locks today, which is at the canal, at the end of the canal, the Exeter Canal, going off to the estuary. So what do you think we're going to do today then, Deb?
Well, as you said, we've come for lunch,
Yes.
so we'll check the opening times and put them on view at some point during the video, because they don't open all year, so you need to be aware of all of that. It's always good to book, actually, because it's a very small, quaint pub. It has a large garden outside, which is beautiful in the summer, but if you definitely want to come and eat here, I would recommend booking a table. Never been here before, never
No.
experienced it before. So we thought it would be nice to come and do a small video on our thoughts of the Turf Lock Hotel and Pub. So come along with us and let us know what you think in the comments below. We can see Turf Locks.
Yeah, we can see the pub after our 15-20 minute walk.
Which is a nice sight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a problem on a day like today. It's beautiful sunshine, nice and warm.
Look at the countryside wrapped around it though, Deb.
Yeah. Not sure if you can hear all the birds. Singing away.
So here we are at Turf Hotel, which is commonly known as Turf Locks, because this is the last lock along the canal from Exeter out into the estuary. And that's all the way through to Exmouth and then out to sea. So the opening hours for May, Sunday to Thursday, pub 10 AM to 7 PM, kitchen 12 till 4, Friday and Saturday pub 10 AM to 9 PM, kitchen 12 till 3. I'm quite surprised at that they're not later.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's when the sun goes down, because the only way here is by foot.
is walking,
boat,
yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, so maybe the custom goes down so much.
Yeah, that they don't need to open any later.
Or don't want to.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? It could be just a lifestyle business. Nothing wrong with that.
So here's the last lock from the canal, going out towards the estuary. And as I said earlier, which takes you out to sea, off to Exmouth and out to sea. You've got Limpston across the way. We'll do a video of that in a minute. All right, let's go and get a drink and some lunch. You looking forward to the lunch, Deb?
I am. Gorgeous big garden out the back here. And we were just talking to the manager, who said that when the sun is out, the people are out. And they are packed. All about location, this place. Location, location, location. And what a cute, quaint little building. Look at these cute deck chairs. Proper traditional British deck chairs. Wouldn't it be lovely to come and have a glass of wine or a pint, sit here and enjoy that view? Stunning. We're so lucky to have places like this to come to.
So let's take a little walk past the canal, through the beer garden, and show you where the ferry goes, where it drops you off from Topsham if you're coming in from the Topsham end.
And I believe the manager of the pub said that they operate daily, don't they?
Yes, they do, but it's best to check on their website,
Or give them a ring.
or give them a ring to make sure that they're running and what times, because it being a tidal part of the area, it all depends on the tide for the times of when it's crossing. So please do check to make sure you know when you can catch the ferry and when you get home. That's if you want to get home.
It'd be a long walk otherwise.
It would be. I mean, we drove, which is the other side of Topsham, and there's a little car park, but not much of a car park, to be honest with you.
No, we were lucky to get in there.
Yeah, I would say on a beautiful summer's day, more into the summertime. I mean, we're in May at the moment. If it was July, August time, I doubt if you'd even get a parking space, would you?
I think you'd be extremely lucky if you did.
Yeah. A lot of people cycle here or walk, because there's a nice walk all the way from Exeter. One of our other videos is on about Exeter Quay. Well, if you left Exeter Quay, you can walk all the way along the canal to this point, and there's another pub along the way, which is Double Locks.
Yes.
Where you could stop along the way, because it is a long way and it is a long walk, but it's a beautiful walk.
And it's flat.
Yeah, we've done it. We'd recommend it, but I would definitely be prepared to be walking for an hour or so.
Or maybe more.
Maybe more, yeah. And making sure that the pubs are open. We walked up here once and the pub wasn't open.
Yeah, this one in particular, Turf Locks, not sure about Double Locks, but this one actually shuts for a few months during the winter, so you always need to check.
So here we are, we've got the dock where the ferry comes in. So if you look across the way there, across the estuary, that's where the Royal Marines train. So they come down to Lympstone, which is just across the water there, for their training. And then the estuary goes out to sea. So going up that way is towards Exmouth and then out to sea. Obviously, if you go back down the river, you'll walk it, I'll get the words correct in a minute. We'll get down to Topsham, where you can catch the ferry across to here. So as you can see, it's low tide at the moment. Beautiful on a summer's day. I don't know if you can hear the wind with this video, but it's very windy at the moment. So definitely bring a cardigan, ladies, because it can get a bit chilly, can't it?
Yes.
I would actually say this is a lovely place to come and have a drink if it's a beautiful summer's day. It'd be a nice day out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it's plenty of space for the kids to run around as well. And dogs, they're very dog friendly.
Yeah, as long as the kids don't mind a bit of a walk before, or you're coming across on the ferry from Topsham. So
Jinx.
Yes.
We've just left the pub after having our lunch, and what I'll say is it was a swift lunch.
Yes, it was.
What are your thoughts on your experience today, Patrick?
It would be lovely for a lovely summer's day and a drink, especially a group of you. But the food, although it tasted very nice, the ingredients and everything, and the staff were very nice.
Yes, very friendly.
But it was cold.
Yes, my meal sadly was cold, and it wasn't meant to be cold, which is always a disappointment. And it was chicken, so I always have a bit of a worry if somebody gives you lukewarm or cold chicken. I mean, I did eat some of it, but I didn't eat all of it, which is very unlike me, isn't it?
Yes.
Especially being celiac and having some celiac options, which they did. They had, probably a handful of options for me, which was great. That's a great tick. But it was just really disappointing that the food was cold. So Yeah, not a great experience for me, sadly. And to be fair, it's a small place with a big garden. They don't seem,
There's not much room inside, is there?
no,
And it's not very welcoming inside, to be fair.
no, it's very dark, and of course it's a very old building, so I
Mm.
understand that, and it's listed as well. It's grade 2 listed, so we totally get that. But the outside area is quite extensive, and you'd expect for an operation that with that capacity that the service might have been a bit better or quicker.
It was
Um,
very slow.
it was very slow, and I don't know whether it was a lack of staff or whether it was. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but I basically what I'm thinking is, would I return?
It's a good question. I wouldn't be in a hurry. And that's the honest truth. And that's one thing we want to do is be honest.
Yes,
The manager was lovely. She spoke to
she
us,
was,
and she was a very lovely lady.
and the
Um,
staff were all friendly.
yeah, the service was very, very slow though. And no, I wouldn't be rushing back, is my honest answer. Um,
See, I think if you fancy a walk on a nice summer's day and just a drink, then it's perfect.
yes, yeah.
But I just wouldn't recommend the food, sadly.
No, and I wouldn't stay for long to have a drink actually. I think a lot of their customers are people that are enjoying this lovely canal and walk
I was cycling, a lot
and
of cyclists
cycling.
there, yeah.
So I think that's their main customer. I wouldn't go there for food.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. It's not worth the squeeze.
Yeah, because the menu, it was, a fair-sized menu. I think the food was priced between £9 and roughly £20 for a meal, I think.
Yeah.
So the prices weren't an issue. It's just, yeah, it was cold. That's all. I mean, I have to say, my food tasted delicious. I ordered the tikka, which had a beautiful flavour to it. Just sadly, it was cold, as I've already said about 5 times now.
Yes. So, is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Oh, it's a sort of that for me.
It's that for me, I'm afraid. I wouldn't be in a rush to get back here. Hopefully, you're in a rush to get back to our videos.
Yeah.
So you'll give us a thumbs up with any
Yeah,
luck.
we want a thumbs up.
But at the same time, if you do have any comments, please put them in the comment thing below, and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. All about travel. It's all about freedom. It's all about lifestyle, and more importantly, it's about being honest and honest reviews.
Yes. Yes. So if you want to have more honest reviews of places, stick with us. Stick with our channel.
Yeah, if you could handle it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure the establishments are going to like us very much, but we are authentic, and that's how we want to be. We don't want to be any other way. So if you like that, as Patrick said, hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you're into travel videos and experiences, then do subscribe, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Take care.
Bye.